Everyone, let's welcome. It's my co-marcher reminds me is always be on time. So my apologies for Māori, welcome. So just for context of our week, Māori is our pagan for money chair. So thank you for being here with us.
E hura ki te rā, e hura ki te ao. Piti kina mai ko te māramatanga whaongia ngā ki te o te wānanga ki ngā hua o manoa nui, o manoa roa, o manoa tawhiti. Herea ki ngā tua, herea ki ngā tūpuna. Here ki tai hurunuku rangi ka haka maua kia tīna, haumi e hui e tai.
And I'll just quickly acknowledge all those screens, so welcome as well. So apologies, Steve McNally, Thomas, Snow, Tane and Felicity Floyd. Just note those apologies, just something to receive apologies. Thanks. Second, thanks, Tane. All in favour? What's interesting, apologies while you're performing, accept them. That's probably good that we don't inculcate them in our evil decision making. Okay, deputations.
Deputations, any for today? Not.
I was supposed to be Shelby.
Tony
X.
Shelby Young and Geraldine Baker, are they joining us online?
O I mua tira, e mihi atu kia tātou katoa e hui mai nei tēnei rā. No reira mihi atu kia tātou i he hui mutunga I tērā tau. No reira ngā mihi ki tēnei tauhau, ngā mihi ki a manuheri I roti te ruma, e tahi kāre he manuheri, mihi atu kia whi hoki I Māori.
Sure.
Eire o kanohi o te runanga o Māpuhi, ki ngā mātanga, ngā kaimahi mātanga o te kaunihira, o te kahu o tauni, nau mai haere. Pai te hara mai ki kunei, he pakanga mō ngā mea pai o te ao Māori, kia anga ki mua I a tātou o te tai toke rei. Kei au me tahi mea aroha mai hi anau te mihi atu ki o ngā mati ki waimari a tātou. Well, kua pāhuri ki, engari hi anau te mihi atu ki te whānau, ngā whānau pani o Selwyn Muru. Ko e he tangata rangatira no Ngāti Kuri, me mai tohi ana. Ai ko Selwyn Muru, ko Muru Walters, te pihopa o te hāhi mihinari. Ki tahi rangatahi o te kāinga hoki Manuura o Hita, he tomaiti, he raukura no tō mātou kura I aituangia I tērā wiki rā. He tomaiti o Ngāti te ui one me Ngāti Tara, ka mihi atu ki tāna māma hiki tia hita, ko hiki tia he kai, he kai āwhina I roti te kaupapa o taipa wastewater treatment plant. Anō reira, ka mihi atu ki te whānau o Ngāti Tara, ki tētahi tomaiti hoki no rarotonga no Aitutaki me nai tohianga Devo Joseph. I tērā tau hoki I ngaro e tokorua rangatahi ngā taiohi o te kāinga i a aituangia i rungi ngā ruri ka mihi atu kia rātou. Engari, ka hoki mai anō kia tātou te uhunga ora, ka mihi atu kia tātou. E pai te kiti a tātou i roti tēnei hui. Ki te taha o tēnei koroki nei, he ori te tatau nei rā huritai. You know, I te hoi pera o mangu nui I mea mai taku ngāma. Oi, tu ai, whānau koe. Kei reira te māma o te whānau Burkhardt. So ka mohi ai koutou. Nā mihi kia koe hoki e tēnei tau. Kia ora rā. Ai, ngā ni pāni mana.
Kia ora, Howie. This is a good opportunity for us to have any pānui thoughts from the tiku. We're jumping in front of all this.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Can you tell me any pānui?
Nothing pressing.
Kia ora. What do you, so you're in the warm, hot, cold seat?
Tell us what's happening with Ngāpuhi.
Any patai, what do you look for?
Ora mo tēnei wā.
sorry, has.
Mokoho? Good brother.
Au, morena whānau. Ngā haka pāha I te korenga nōku e tai atu a tinana I te rānei. He kore nōku I hiahia kia pāpā haere te hūpē I konei. Just apologies for being online today. I thought I better keep my bugs to myself at home today. So a big mihi for our committee today. My pānui is especially around the fact that we're on the front page of the Northern Age today around our representation review. So we currently have a representation review which is specifically looking at our Ngātai o Tokerau district-wide ward, Māori ward, and looking for feedback from whānau around the potential to split that single ward into multiple wards. It doesn't increase the number of Māori ward councillors we have, but we could look at splitting the single ward into like 4 single member district Māori wards, for example, to make the geographic boundaries that those members represent a little bit more finite and maybe a little bit easier to manage in terms of expectation and work streams. So just a reminder that that consultation is live right now. Online, there's some engagement sessions as well. You can find that all on our website, and I think it closes on the 21st of March. A part of that is also asking whether Far Northerners would support iwi reps with voting rights on council, which is something that other councils have in place. Also asking whether or not we change our Whatuwhiwhi subdivision name to Karikari Awanui. So really looking forward to hearing the feedback from the whānau, but as much as we can all promote people to engage in this process, the better that will inform our decision making. Kia ora, Mr. Chair.
Good moko. Let's kick into formalities. Confirmation previous minutes. Just looking for a movement and second of that.
They have, sorry, through the chair, they haven't joined online or in person. They've been sent the information but have not made it here today. If they do turn up later, Mr. Chair,
Can someone give Geraldine a ring and just let us know?
we're in the process of getting in touch with them again in the background now. Yeah.
So. Okay. Next time it's all. one here. Through.
Yeah, I think you just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless there was anything more than.
Just so, last Thursday, Te Kawatani met. There's a renewed commitment to ensure that we lean into those opportunities that have been presented to us and forwarded to us. So the Te Kuaka is one piece of strategic work that we're keen to advance over the next 12 months. More core the review conversation going with myself and Hilda. What does the space look like? What it should, what it could do. So the message from our corner, we will lean in. This one is here. Most of the UBW is in Rotorua today as a motion conversation we have EV chairs at Waitangi. So Rotorua down there, Rotorua sitting here supporting those strategic structures that allow us to keep going and lean in and support the Whānau District Council as a technical chair. Probably there's three things reflected on for us to be able to be effective is getting in front of us early. So what we've created is we're meeting bi-monthly, so those spaces between each meeting, we should take advantage of them and ensure that when we come to the meeting, recorded orders has happened. The hononga has been put in place between function, roles and function of the subcommittee. So these three formalities, albeit maybe moments of provocation, to amplify those opportunities in front of us. Second bit, so let's not be reactive. It's get the front foot forward to this screen today. So this is where nothing, I suppose. Secondly, in terms of the spirit of Moko's aspirations for and the council aspirations for this committee is I'm watching stuff coming through as transactional realities. My sense is we've got to be more strategic about how we leverage our relationships and how you leverage your relationships and opportunities. So those are not transactional moments for me. I think the transactional moments are because of the strategic settings we've created. And then the third thing is it was primed by the legal advice that we got at the last minute. Which I go, whoa, which I got up paper by the word. This how might we lean into the things we don't know about? So what legal advice told us about what we do know, but not we didn't know, couldn't know. Now that's scary space for process-driven organisations. They're constrained. We're just operating well through legislation. However, I'm just encouraging ourselves to go to those areas that we don't know. Should know. What does that mean? All I'm trying to do is give this committee permission to go manful. There's a deal of there's a level of risk in that, but the thing for me is, as we work together, we can have to keep each other safe. And unless people dying, I think it becomes less important. Okay, some thoughts just to keep us going.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just wanted to advise that our deputation has arrived online.
Oh, that was cool.
If there was any more, put it all around your comments, if you wanted.
Okay.
to-
Thoughts, reflections, provocations. Remember what comes out of my mouth is sometimes wrong. Stan Mullins. Toi, any thoughts?
Nothing much of it.
As he looks away. Okay, we'll leave it at that, and let's just build on it and through the review process and how we articulate and execute is, let's just use that as our kind of framework to measure ourselves and be honest with ourselves. Okay, okay.
Appreciate Geraldine is going to join us hopefully by putting her camera on and showing us
Carry on.
how beautiful Matodi is this morning. Oh, kia ora.
Kia ora, Geraldine, welcome.
Kia ora. Sorry, I joined a bit late. All ears.
Okay, so have you got anyone else supporting you, or is it you?
No, because for some reason we didn't have this in our calendar. I'm not sure why. So I was going to have our chair with me, but she's obviously not on. And I've just, as you would know, Harry, come from the Fisheries Forum hui, so I'm a little bit unprepared. Yeah.
So two things. You're quite welcome to keep going, but if you want to park it up until you're more comfortable around presenting, I'll be comfortable with that.
Yes, please.
Okay. So we'll get our team to come back to you and give you the courtesy of making sure you're in the loop and you've got sort of, okay?
Ka pai.
Okay, we'll let you go.
Thank you.
Right.
The fastest deputation ever.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so we go to the minutes. So the recommendation is that Kuaka, this is us. 30 minutes are true and correct. So just to move in a second, thanks Timothy.
Yeah.
I think, thanks.
I'll move that.
Absolutely. Okay, before we go to any comments, additionality, extensions in the minutes that we want to discuss.
Kia ora, Mr. Chair. Just like to point out that 7.2 on page 13, the resolution moved by Kahika Moko, seconded by myself, that the Te Kuaka Te Ao Māori Committee received the report on rating relief policy amendments, the staff review implementation of local government rating of whenua Māori Amendment Act 2021 to decrease rating depth, and report back to Te Kuaka Te Ao Māori Committee on this date, 22nd February 2024. I haven't been wearing my glasses or contacts, but I can't seem to see the report in this agenda. I would like to, through the chair, get some feedback from our staff as to why this report is not attached in this agenda. Kia ora.
So pass the ball to who?
Margaret,
Would you like to come and join us? Yeah.
Kia ora.
The report that was submitted at the time to the Kuaka actually, we weren't aware that the report was going to be submitted. The report was actually meant to be drawn at the time, but it wasn't, it was still submitted to the committee. This remission, the policy that is there, we need to follow a specific process within our framework and also through legislation. So the remission, that specific policy sits within the rating policies, which there are 16 of them.
I'm just speaking to this policy in
Yes.
particular. So
So
the
that-
17 policies. I'm speaking to this one in particular. So, sorry, through the chair. The additional question is, what is the framework that you have to work through to be able to get this policy back to Te Kuaka, which was supposed to be this date?
From the chair, and this is the, this is called the policy and the policy and engagement framework. It's a framework that we use for all our policy reviews. So we first go into a stage where we research. We have stood that up in terms of the emissions, the rating emissions policies. We do research first, then we look at what are the options in terms of all the policies. Has there been a change to legislation, which means we need to amend these policies? Is there still a need for the policies because there might have been a change in legislation? We apply them for the client.
Hold on. Thank you, Margaret. There's been no amendment to the Rating of Whenua Māori Act 2021 since it was implemented. The policy remains. The last report that was drawn up, that was brought to our Te Kuaka meeting last year, November, it was agreed that some of the wording need to be changed to allow for trusts, for example, to be a part of the rates relief policy. So I'm not too sure why I'm hearing about we need to check or research if there's been any change, because we're now 2024. The amendment was made in 2021. There's been no change to it. All that needs to be changed was the wording that we agreed on in the last Te Kuaka. So that's November. It's February 2024. The 2nd of February. Don't have a report back. I think that the research that needs to go into this, and maybe you can answer these questions. One, how many active Whenua Māori accounts do we have per accounts?
I have no idea.
Let's unpick these two ways. So you're saying we haven't got this report process.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So you realise how much of an appetite we don't have to hear that. So how might we get to the knuckle of that request is how do we frame a response that reflects real needs, that's both real needs from our whānau and real needs from the organisation. So we can influence the shape of council's response. So if we can hold that there, because I want to make sure Tamati has got a response to this question. And without adding more to it, which we can. Let's give it the courtesy of Moko. Moko, would you like to add fuel or water?
Kia ora, thank you, Mr. Chair. Oh, just so, this is missing from our open resolutions report as well, so it needs to be added there. What we should have had, if the work hasn't been done for the review itself, we should have had an update paper come to this meeting to say that it wasn't ready and what is being done is what I would have expected. But I think, Mr. Chair, that maybe this, to be able to dive deeper into this, that we actually workshop this specifically with staff so that we can expect a paper update at our next Te Kuaka meeting. That might have to be a extraordinary workshop or something to that effect, but I think we can discuss it following. But it is, it does, I can see Whaia Dolly there, needs to be captured on the open resolutions thing, and I think that for this paper, for this resolution itself, that we confirm the minutes, that a note is also put on there to highlight the fact that this report was not received, that is unfortunate, but that a request be made that a workshop be held and a paper come to the next meeting with an update.
Kia ora, Moko, thanks. Babe, fuel or water? Sorry.
Kia ora, kia ora. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just following on the same pathway that Moko mentioned, it would have been really great to hear at that time when the motion was made the extent of work that was required to put this paper together. Now we're hearing that it is quite a extent of work, but I'm just wondering, and I can't see the speaker responding, but what is the time frame needed to complete this report? Example, would it be available at the next meeting? Question.
Through the chair, the rating relief policy report is scheduled for April 2020, April 22nd. So we do have that already ready to be populated. We will work on a workshop, an extraordinary workshop to workshop the rating relief policy with all members of Te Kuaka and Te Kahua Tānui.
Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Mr. Chair, can I just jump in very quickly? Just to be clear that this isn't a workshop on the rating relief policy. Specifically, the wording of this resolution was reviewing the implementation of the Local Government Rating of Whenua Māori Amendment Act 2021 to decrease rating debt. So it's not just about the policy itself, but it's about the wider framework and the information that comes with that. I just don't want us to go down a track that is what we're requesting. It was actually a little bit more broader than just our policy itself.
Ko marama.
Ka pai.
Kelly, before I get to you, I just want to check. You want to go last?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
I just have a question around the significance and engagement policy. If we want to make any changes in the this particular part of the rating relief policies, when do we need to have this sorted to go in the LTP consultation document?
It would probably, I think it would go into the LTP for this year, but I'm not 100% sure. I would have to check.
Well, we haven't signed off the consultation document yet,
Yes.
so we still have time.
True, it's just that, at the moment, what we're looking at is all the policies that we're looking at that commission piece. So this is one policy of 16. We need to look at the impact of each one of those changing one policy might have. That takes research time, unfortunately. And that's where we're at the moment. Then, once we've done that research, then we would have to come to council, for council to give us a permission to go ahead and research further, which is when we would have to do more work in terms of impact or financial impact on our rates, income, etc., before we can then move forward to change it. These policies, some of them haven't been looked at for a number of years. Some of the policies actually contravene each other and are confusing. For the rates team to manage it as well as. So we need to make sure that they work together at the same time. But unfortunately, that takes time. It's not.
Sorry, I've been here 6 years and we've reviewed rating remission policies almost every time we do the LTP, especially after the Whenua Māori Amendment Act. We reviewed a whole suite of policies, so we know what hasn't worked. Like the practitioners in the organisation know where the pinch points are, and I think what Moko is was trying to say is that we're rating a whole heap of land that is unused. It's because, and it can't be dealt with properly because it's a trust. If we just tweaked that slightly, we would then stop, building this. No, she's going to want her point of order dealt with. I have to be quiet. Good luck, Harry.
Standing orders require that there can be no debate on matters in the minutes, that you can simply raise a point that the minutes are incorrect. So my colleague, Rakana, has raised concern that the minutes are reflecting something that is not correct. So the appropriate course of action now is to set in place a train to fix that. The debate on the substance needs to come later.
Okay. We'll hold that thought because that's the one I'm going to be adding to the next thing. Timothy, we're guided by you because you're looking for relief from ourselves, monthly. And you created an additionality question. So what relief do you require to ensure this is tied up? Because suggested a couple of things.
Yeah. I'm probably seeking guidance from governance ladies, that it should be an open resolution and the updated report. And for this meeting, and if required, then we take a break and we'll start to be able to collate that information, add it to today's agenda.
As a major item not on the agenda, is that what?
For debate
For debate.
later on in the meeting.
So. We.
There's two Johns up there, so it can be two Harrys.
Firstly, the open resolution register, because it came through as an information report, was captured on the open resolution register. So another report for a decision to be made needs to be brought to the table in order for that to hit our open resolution register, just so that's clear. That's why it wasn't. Second, the note has been added that the report, as suggested by Moko, was not received in time as the confirmation of previous minutes requested. Should you request a major item not on the agenda, we can do so with the notification from the chair that this item cannot wait due to the pressing timelines of the long-term planning budgeting consultation And we get, consultation documents being adopted by council, taking place. And I need to confirm, so we can break as suggested by the member, by Councillor Darkina, prior to your next Te Kuaka meeting, which would mean that, yeah, in order for the trail to happen through the governance side, and take a break to confirm the wording on that if you'd like, Chair. And then adjourn the meeting for 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes.
So my translation will run away for them if it's,
Aye. Just don't hurt him.
are we all good with that approach?
10 minute adjournments.
Aye, okay. 10 minutes while our support staff reconcile our little pothole.
So, I'll just get all that. Mute for chambers, please. But not.
Okay, so we can keep going. Grab two sketches. Can I, so my understanding, we've got a work through process that allows us to articulate the reality of these minutes here and then come back and work out. And item 5.5, which is
110, sorry, 106.
106.
When the item committee.
So 106 for me is Jesus statute that I think of that. Okay. So you wanna, I think, help us get through this and what it's like.
Yes, so through the chair, we have a note, as requested that the report, as part of item 7.2 in the 28th of November 2023 meeting was not received as required as part of the resolution. We also will be revisiting the discussion at the table in relation to that report that wasn't available when we get to item 5.5. If the mover and seconder are happy for us to include that note, we can put a confirmation of previous minutes to vote.
Okay, so move it up to 60. Further thoughts? I hear you.
I have something to add that's separate to that.
I will move the minutes, then you can add. Okay. All in favour, aye?
Aye.
Against? Those who want to be in the room? Okay, very good. Want to add?
Oh, I can't find it now, but just to say, following the deputation from
Oh, yeah.
to
Te puna o kupinu.
Te puna o kupunuku, I haere tahi o mātou ki Rāwene, I te Rawiki, te rongo ki te Puari, o taua wāhi akoranga. And kia tino miharo au ki ngā kaupapa maha I hakatakoto ki muri a tātou. Te maha o ngā mea ākuranga mō rātou ko wihi te kura, mō ngā mātua I roti te hāpuri. Miharo te mahi e mahi anei e tērā puari o taua wāhi o te mātua e me te mana whenua o reira. No reira, just kia mohi ai koutou haere ki te rongo ki tērā. I roto I taua hui he wahine no Nortec I pātai mai ki te kaunihera e hehi ana he whituna tau e toi ana mo tērā rihi. Engari ngā tētahi raruraru kia rātou he ko tahi marama, ia marama, te rihi, e roanga o te rihi, no reira, kāre tērā e tino tika. Te mea I puta mai I ino I mai te wahine no Nortec, wehea tana ingoa. E hihi ana I te whakawhāne enrolled nursing programs. Hei tautoko ngā mahi o te hohipera o Hokianga. And he pai kia mōhio mehe mea ka haere tonu te rihi mō taua Puari. Kia he pai te kōrero I roto I tērā. E na hari koe haere mātou ki reire te rongo āwhare I ngā moe o te hāpuri rā. Etahi ka whai pūtea mai ngā kaupapa o Nortec. Etahi horekau he pūtea. Ka mahi hei pai whānau o taua wāhira. No reira, ka just he tino pūrongo poto e pāna ki tērā kaupapa I hara mai ki mui a tātou I tērā tau. Amen.
And I see on the chat, Kawaki's additionality. Good outcome. Amazing. Wonderful. Okay, so item 5.1, the memorandum of understanding, process review. So we've got a recommendation here. Liani? Do you want to speak to it before I move the recommendation or do you?
Not necessarily, I'm going to take it as read.
Okay.
This
So,
is any part-time.
okay, so we've done a scan of who's in and who's out. So we can have a cup of tea and not have a lie down. The next bit that we need to think about is how do we activate those relationships? Because within those relationships, I think is the council's currency. And secondly, I would encourage you not to be consumed by the asks in there because it's part of the constructive conversation we need to be, how might we lean in, knowing that we've got constrained resources, but we've got unlimited. That wasn't a cheap shot. Those relationships. Okay, so on that, I'll just get the recommendation that to Kuaka receive the report memorandum of understanding process review. Someone to move in second, please. For the Hilda, second. Any further quarter?
I just sort of share, I just want to mahi to our Te Hono staff, you've been able to come along with us on the roadshow where we're rejuvenating our whakawhanaungatanga along the way with hapu and iwi, and really enjoying seeing how different we're being received, and we're already linked in some ways, like through civil defence in particular, climate change for some of them, and there's new opportunities for us to be connected through the development of our housing strategy as well. So being able to just have open dialogue with, it's been really awesome, and the understanding that Te Hono's just the bridge, the whole organisation of this council have to play a role in activating those relationships. Yeah.
Absolutely, through you, Mr. Chair, if I can add a comment. I'm really pleased to see that the work being done because, as you will aware, iwi and hapu are they play a vital part. If you look at the aspirations of local government and various other groups, including government, it's actually everybody will create. They use different names like localism, but it's really providing local government people to actually have that involved in the local governance of the area. So I'm quite pleased to see that it's setting up a good way forward to achieve a number of other things. Thank you.
So, all in favour? Against? Williams does want to be in the room.
Kōrero wau, Māori.
Yeah, through Mr. Chair. Tautoko the segments that have been put down on the table to Te Hono. We know it through kia koutou. And I think, and I go back to the word of yours, Mr. Chair, earlier about not being reactive. And I think it's really good to see our Te Hono team and FNDC being proactive in this space. Because ko roa te wā, noho, these MOUs have sat dormant for so long, and they're outdated. Actually, a lot of them are actually outdated. So the roadshow kata is a really good whakaaro, and we look forward to actually receiving
the Te Mono team and the Roadshow team at some stage in Mapuhi there. I know our first date didn't work out, but we're looking forward to sitting down, kanoki ki te kongi rai, ki te rai, i ki te ihu, te ata wānanga, whakawhiriwhiri ngā kōrero. So, but yeah, I'm happy with the proactiveness in the space of building and developing and strengthening these relationships with meaningful engagement without even up. So, tēnā tātou.
Babe, you popped up, so you got something exceptional to tell us.
Ono, he wahi pito kōrero, ngā hui pēnei e pai ana mo te kaunihera ki te tūtaki i ngā puari iwi, tuarua, kia tukuna e ngā puari o ngā iwi ki te whiriwhiri ngā kōrero, kia heke atu ki o rātou marae, hapu katoa, kia marama ai te katoa. E ahu pēhe ana ngā kōrero, ngā whakahaeretanga i wainga nui te kaunihera me ngā runanga iwi.
Okay, so we're on to 5.2. So this is an internal conversation. Oh, sorry.
Did we put it to the vote?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
We can vote twice.
No. Those are two areas.
Okay, 5.2, this is internal framework that holds ourselves accountable to each other and ourselves through a agreed framework. So I'll just read the recommendation that Te Kuaka note the report to pai o Uta te ao Māori framework and te reo te tangata. That's what's so just someone to move and second that so we can.
Yeah.
Any kōrero around there?
No, none at all.
Smiley face.
Bit hard to hear because my cousin keeps talking.
Kia ora, Mr. Chair. In the purpose of the report, it states to update Te Pai o the work program to present and review Te Pai o the external measurement outcomes framework. Again, I'm not sure where I put my glasses or contact, but I don't know what that is and what it's in. Any attachments to the report or any reports? So I think first up, my question would be, first up, what is this and where is it?
You're the chair. Kia ora. Yeah, so the purpose of this report is to provide an update on Te Pai o Te framework. A bit of an oversight was the addition of the external measurement outcomes, which have not been worked through internally. So it was inappropriate at this point to bring it to Te Kuaka. So the information contained in the report is an update for the committee and the external outcomes measurements will be forthcoming in the future once it's been worked through internally.
Supplementary.
So sorry, can you just clarify what is the external measurement outcomes framework?
Currently,
And who's it for?
currently our staff are looking at ways that we can, as an entire organisation, measure the effect of the Te Pai o Te framework. So it's things that you can see that are being affected externally by the work that comes out of the Te Pai o Te framework. That's the purpose of that.
So like iwi hapu engagements according to Te Pai o Te.
And it could be simple things for a different group. A meaningful measure
really. But the groups need to develop those alongside the expertise in their. We're not doing
Okay, we'll wait until the city and Rafi.
Before we round up.
Thank you, Tamati, for asking a similar question, because we, as chair of the Executive Review Committee, we are obligated to draft some key performance indicators for our CE. And I don't want to blatantly say what one of them is, but this does relate to that. So I would hope that there will be some way for the measures that are within the KPIs can be connected to what you're trying to implement.
I can assure you that the Te Mono team has an amazing amount of work on some governments. They're there now. It's to hono with the rest of the organisation to make sure we can deliver.
Oh, thank you.
Ai, kia ora tātou. Hari kua te pānui tēnei pūrongo. He miharo, i te timatanga o taku tūranga I konei, I pānui au te arotake o te tangata whenua report. I roto I taua pūrongo e mea ana ka hore te kaunihera e tino tutuki, e tahi whainga, e tahi ngā o ngā me āture, bylaw, policy, and he update tēnei mo te tau rua mano rua te kaumā rua. He pai tāku nei hea te take tino roka tai mai ki te tēpū, tērā he pātai, he mea no ko tēnei etahi mea. I just want to make a few little things. I'd like us to accept the report. I think it's fabulous. Well, that's not a good word. It's miha. And there's just a couple of little things. I did note that for all our lofty dreams, we lack operational capacity and we lack connectedness across all of our departments inside the council. So we might have a dream here in Te Kuaka, but if it doesn't match in that other committee, the rating committee, the other committee, and if we don't all line our ducks up, it can die a death internally. So that's just something. The other thing is, can we make sure that mo te kupu Māori he pū matua, mo Māori I ngā wā katoa, e tahi whārangi horekau he pū iti noiho, no reira me whakatika tērā. I kite hau ka wātu waiho mā te CE, hei whakatika ngā mea a grammar, engari he pai ake mā pitahi mōhi ana te reo, hei whakatika ngā kupu Māori, koina anu, he mea iti tērā. And he mea no mo 3.4.9, community development plan. And taku pātai, these community development plans, these iwi hapu environmental management plans. And he tino rereke, can we put those, he pātai, it doesn't have to be today because I already tautoko accepting the report, but you know, I roto I nei mea, I tahi wā kauringa mana whenua I roto I aua autaki. And meheme a pērana, you know, it is about that. If we have a community development plan and then there's the iwi hapu environmental management plan, you know, like we'll take for example what happened at Moringai. Ahipara Takiwa had called the tree, said the tree was significant, but it wasn't in a notable tree something or other. And so, you know, I know that means we just got to keep a broader eye across those plans, but that's just an example. And actually, tira, he miharo, and also I wouldn't mind us having a, I think for the Te Onirua Tohi committee on page 55, a little bit of an oversight is resourcing. And kamihi atu ki NRC the secretariat e whakahaere ina hui. So we just had an issue about mechanical harvesting. that we don't agree with mechanical harvesting on Te Onerua Tohi. But somehow in the NRC regional plan, something came up that it looked like we gave an exception that, you know, with the speed limits, that Te Onerua Tohi board gave an exception to mechanical harvesters. So anyhow, it's about us talking to each other across those things. Wina no, a tui tira. Me haro tēnei reporter, lovely. I'd like to see the operation back up too. Lovely.
Okay, coming back to the ask, what is the framework? When can we see that? Remember, asking for the perfect, we're asking for the good. If that framework was both quantitative and qualitative, I think it can be iterative. So fencing this. Making sure that no one's boxed in or boxed out.
Chair, if I can just sort of add a supplementary question to what you're saying there for the team, and because what comes to mind, as has been mentioned, the community boards are carrying a lot of that responsibility, and they do talk to Iwi and Hapu. But can we formalise that so through the team, making sure that that's actually happening, because that's the community development plan often done external to community board, but didn't go through those channels because of the use of those plans. So I'd love to see the team connected with that process, so that we can pick up what on Kyle is saying.
Back to my question.
Back to your question through the chair. So each meeting, an update come through on the Te Waiota framework. And so going forward, included in that report will be an update on how the external measures will be progressing through the organisation. Would that be acceptable?
Either.
Comrades, is that acceptable?
To be included in each Te Waiota framework report that comes to Te Kuaka. We'd add a new section in it that would update the committee on the progress of the external. Just, yeah, not anything that needs to be noted in the minutes. I just keep running with you that everybody's happy. That can be taken away by staff.
Okay, that's a good start. Building what Hilda's reflected on and your thank you for your commitment to the organisation. That's a good start. So thank you for that. Okay, so did we move it? This is a John question. Did we move it? Oh, that's good to know. So just reminding me, Hilda, you moved it, didn't you? Yeah.
Sorry. We do have a mover and seconder through the chair. We just needed to.
Okay.
We get a second round.
Oh, yeah, here. Certainly.
Ask the mover.
All right, reply.
Yeah.
I just want us to get on with the work.
Sure. What Jenny says, hurry.
I just got a couple part-time. Just in regards to the framework, how does it give effect to our contractors? Or does it give effect to our contractors who are another arm of them of council? Has it currently been into the work programs? If not, why not?
I will say it hasn't. However, there are discussions at the moment about how we can get our tentacles into our
contractors, so that they are another reflection of what we do. So that's definitely something that Guy is usually.
Because essentially they are part of council. I mean, when people see that the roads are not up to standard, they don't mention those contractors, they mention FNDC. So that's where my part was directed at. And just following on from that, one of the reasons why I ask as well, is because Te Paiota was brought to council, or was carried, the motion was carried for the implementation of Te Paiota Māori framework, and I think it was September 2023. And we have March 24. Council groups can start incorporating Te Paiota into their work programs. We're almost at the end of February. Do staff think that, according to this timeline, that is reasonable, that it will be implemented by then? And B, does, or who assists with the implementation of Te Paiota into their work programs? Doesn't need to be budgeted for. Is there budget for it? Does it come from your own budgets? Does it come out of the CE office budget? Or does it come out of the Te Wono's budget? Ultimately, whose budget does it come out of if it has been budgeted for?
Chair, I can only speak to what I know, which is there are a couple of groups that have absolutely budgeted for some of the things that they will, well, the things that they say they will implement as part of Te Paiota. But there are other groups that are probably either still working on it or don't actually get back to the external outcomes conversation. They haven't quite got there to know what the outcome is, and therefore what the criteria is that they are going to need to provide. And I know that you're right now in your mind, you're probably thinking, well, we're right on LTP. I guess the fallback is it will maybe a go lightly approach in the beginning until people understand what that actually looks like. Yeah, probably at least 5 years.
Just for clarity, are there any names of the groups who have started, as you stated, to implement Te Paiota into their work programs? If so, which, who are the groups? And the reply indicates to me that some of those groups have not budgeted for the implementation of Te Paiota by March 2024. Therefore, they'll miss the LTP.
I don't think they'll miss it completely. There might be a bit of a chance to jiggle. I find it difficult to answer that question. I can only answer for our group.
Mr.
Yes.
Chair, can I just jump in here, because I respect the member's line of questioning, but I get nervous when we start to delve a little bit deeper into the organisation, just what I expect from this framework is that we set ourselves up for success to achieve its outcomes. Now, what we require the organisation to do is to back themselves to do that through their budgetary provision lines. Now, if there are any groups that haven't done that, then I think what you can expect is that this governance group will not accept that no budget was put up as an excuse to not have realised outcomes within this framework, when we have given you the governance direction and adopting it to do so. And now's your opportunity to get those budgetary provision lines into the LTP so that the governance framework has been signed off, and then the operationalisation of that needs to follow through. So I respect Councillor Rakina's line of questioning around wanting to know who, what, when, but that's not our job. That's our Chief Executive's job. What I will say from a governance position though, is that we will not take, there wasn't enough money, or sorry, we just couldn't do that as an excuse not to realise and achieve the outcomes that we as governance have steered through the adoption of this framework. Thank you, JC. If you can take that back to our organisation, SLT, and we'll take it up with our chief executive as well.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay, we've got a landing point around moving forward. Companies added some provocation. I think the opportunity for managers to come back and take this proactive, demonstrate those things that Tamati asked in the negative to what more expected and positive. So if we can do that, I suspect Tamati would be a happy camper. Okay, so we've got a movement second. Good quarter or against. One abstention. Nearly with it. Okay. 5.3.
Page
99 to 100. That Te Kuaka received the report we have mental plans for fish update. So I'll move it, please. Second. Okay. Evening. Smash this one out of the park.
No comment from me. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. All in favour? Aye. Against? Someone wants to be in the room. Okay. Goodbye. Okay. 4, 101 to 105. Resolutions escalated to the council on 2020 update. Recommendation that Te Kuaka receive the report. Te Kuaka Te Ao Māori Committee resolutions escalated to council in 2020. Okay, mover, second. You're scratching your eyebrow.
Yeah,
not sure what it means.
I have a question.
Yeah.
And staff might have to help. We've got a report relation to this in PX. When will we have an opportunity to what it all about that, or do we wait till it's at the council meeting? Thank you, Dolly.
Through the chair, if you're referring to the Pātiao Matariki, the specific report will be in PX, but it'll be included in the 22nd April meeting. We have only, as the chair alluded to, only just distributed the legal advice to all members, including Te Kahua Kāhui. So they've needed time to digest that and what it means.
Right.
We're looking to hold a workshop on that as well, to delve into drill down into what that means.
Okay.
Council and so 22nd of April, that is due.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
No other.
Any other?
I was talking to him. He thought we'd named one of our things, something related to the kingitanga.
Okay, it's just a move in a second and fourth. Just a note, and those who in the our agree when we're discussing agenda, I think we're just going to be more diligent about putting things in front of us that leave us lost at sea. So I don't know what it looks like. Just taking.
Through the chair. So the purpose of this particular report Te Kuaka held 5 meetings last year, and often when Te Kuaka recommends to council, it goes up to council and we don't know what the trickle down effect or the outcome is from that. So this particular report just reports back whether those recommendations to council were carried or amended in any way. And I'm happy to report that there were no amendments. They were confirmed and approved at council level for all of those decisions. That's all that report.
Don't you look at the table? Your evil plans have been. That's what your next John, someone second. Okay, all in favour?
Because I know it's getting close to lunchtime and so it's going to get a bit agitated there, but the comment I want to make is this is good because other committees don't actually have this. So maybe we should all have this. So, thank you for taking all of this.
Nice. So all in favour?
Aye.
Against? No one will be in the room? Kapai. Okay, 5.5, so this is us coming back on that little often recorded order we had before. So.
Yeah, Thomas is moving. You see the second there. Table.
Someone seconded. Thanks, Kelly. These are not beer traps, okay? Not gonna die. Gonna talk about this. Okay. All in favour?
Did you have a push?
Yeah, so,
Sorry. You want us to put it on the screen?
please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was sent to-
Oh, it's just an amendment, not a foreshadow.
It's just an amendment.
Yeah.
Correct. Or an alternate motion?
Yeah.
18.
What am I calling it? Parallel universe.
Okay.
Parallel. Just going back to the point of that.
Yeah. Okay. Share that. Share it. We can type the format. Are you happy with the wording when it comes up? We can tidy up that data. You can share that on our screen. Awesome. Here we go.
Oh, sorry, spelling of restoration.
Donna, do you want to read it out for us because it's your,
Yeah, just
your creation?
That Te Kuaka Te Ao Māori Committee, A, received the February open resolution report. B, request an extraordinary workshop in urgency due to long-term and timeline constraints to enable elected members to discuss the implementation of local government rating of Whenua Māori Amendment Act 2021 to decrease rating depth. C, recommend that council direct to the CEO to include the consultation item for the implementation of local government rating of Whenua Māori Amendment Act 2021 to decrease rating depth as part of this long-term plan consultation document.
So I saw the blood, sweat and tears that worked through this, so I'm going to presume everybody's agreed to this. She moves it.
Yeah, just one, yeah. Are you happy to put that forward as an alternative motion instead
Yes.
of an amendment? It just, because that includes the original.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we have a mover and a second, so which is,
It is
so you can
slightly
take
different
that
from the
out.
original.
Just
Yeah.
take that out. Sweet, and then honey toy. You're ready.
Good opinion.
Where it says, just see the chair, where it says, B, and it says to decrease the rating debt. Is that the idea of having that workshop, or is it to address the rating debt? Because if you say to decrease the rating debt, then basically it's you're premeditating what your decision is going to be going into the workshop, which then would render your vote null and void.
That's all right. So it's to address. So address.
I'll address the rating.
So change, decrease, address or discuss.
Someone to you, you're the architect.
Yeah, sorry, it was just that was part of the original
Go to the farm, mate.
resolution, but I'm happy to amend that word to address and vote B and C.
Okay. So we've got Tamati, Mary and Kelly second. We've discussed it. There's been blood on the walls. Had land and happy land. We've got to work through the process, which is fundamentally a wānanga. All in favour? Against? Those who don't want to be in the room. Kia ora. Well done, everyone. Seriously. That's that whole. That's that collaborative space where we talk with each other as for aspirations of our whānau and you know. So that. Okay. Do you want to? Yes.
Okay, sorry, allow Mr. Peskovich to. Want to close off?
I want to close off.
Mr.
Te tau i o ngā manaki tana ki runga ki tēnā tātou e whakahuimi nei, i raru i te maru o tō tātou whare. E pā tēnei mātou te tūwhirakau ngā ngākau ki a koe i tēnei rā, mō wipai ai ki hui ngātahi ai tātou i tēnei rangi. Nā no te kā, te maramatanga i whakatōtongia ki roto ki te wairua ki te whatu manawa. O iho tātou i tai mai, i runga i te kaupapa, i krangahia, i kōrero ki whakawhiti. Tēnā pāti tiro ata whai mai i runga i a mātou. Roto i o mātou mahi katoa, o mai te kaha, me te maramatanga, ke tatu iho ai tātou, i rango i te rangi Māori, i tō mātou kāinga. Mōnā ki te o tātou whānau, i roto i ngā hohipere, i roto i ngā kāinga nunui, i roto i ngā kāinga nunuhi, e tai mahana, i mate haere ana. Tēnei au te whetai te inui ki a koe, i ni te ingo tō tama, te kaiwhakora, au kuraiti, ānei ākatou notu, āmine. Wow. Kia ora, everyone.
Kia ora.
It's 12 o'clock.
Still like to move.
No, 12:30, Penny, we're back in the room at 12.